Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. Today we'll be learning how to make grape pie. Here are a few of the ingredients that you'll be needing for the same. Get yourself one fresh egg from the fridge, some cold butter, 100 grams to be exact, red seedless grapes, 1.5 cups of flour or maida and 1/3 cup of sugar. Pass this all through a sieve. This is to make sure that there are no lumps later on when we're making the crust for the pie. Make sure to mix all three of them. Then add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Mix this all really well. Next, get the cold butter and cut it into small cubes. This is so that it becomes easier to incorporate into the flour. Make sure that it is cold and straight from the fridge. This is what helps make the pie crust crumbly. Try not to mix it with your hands as your hands are warm, and so take a fork and gently press the butter into the flour. Keep doing this until the flour and butter is completely incorporated. This may take a while, but you need to make sure that the mixture is coarse. Next, crack the egg into the mixture and mix the entire thing thoroughly in. It should start looking like a dough about now, but should still be quite crumbly. Next, get some ice and put it in some water. Once the dough starts looking like this, take a few tablespoons of water and put it into the mixture. Again, we need to make sure that the water is cold. This is just to make our dough better for when it comes out of the oven. This is when the dough will start coming together. Sprinkle some flour onto your counter and put the entire mixture on it. This is where we'll be kneading it. Try not to over-knead the dough too much, as it won't rise as much and not be as light as fluffy as we want it to be. This is just to bring the dough together. Press it together into a ball. If it's not sticking properly, you can always add a little bit more water. If it feels too sticky, you can add a little more flour. You should be able to make the entire dough into a ball, and that's when you know it's at a perfect consistency. Wrap it up in cling film and pop it in the fridge for at least half an hour to 1 hour. This is so that the dough cools down properly and we're able to roll it better when it's out. Next, remove all the stems from the grapes. Make sure that there are no stems left over and wash them thoroughly. Drain out all the water and get ready to grease the tin. For this, you can use either olive oil or vegetable oil. Next, get the crust out of the fridge. We've left it in for an hour and it's pretty cool at this point. Make sure that the tin is thoroughly greased, as we don't want the crust to stick to the pan when we take it out later. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees for about 5 minutes. While the oven preheats, we are ready to put the dough into the tin. You can either roll it out on the counter and then put it into the tin. But for this specific pie, we're going to press it in by hand. This is because we're dealing with grapes. Once they're done baking, they tend to leave out a little bit of liquid. So we want to make sure that the crust is nice and thick. Remove any excess dough from the edges and take a fork and poke some holes into the bottom. This is to make sure that when it rises evenly. Next, we'll be putting in some jam at the bottom. You can use any choice of jam, but for this specific one, we're using Berry Blast from Kisan. Evenly spread out the jam. You'll need about 2 to 3 tablespoons. But again, that's your choice. Next, put the grapes into it. This is my favorite part. You can already tell it's going to be delicious. Make sure that there are no gaps when you're putting in the grapes. With whatever dough is left over, flatten it and roll it out. This is for the topping. Take a knife and cut it out into long thin strips. You can make whatever pattern you want on top of the pie. That's your own choice. But here's the method that we've used. First, lay out the long strips horizontally and then crisscross them when you go vertical. This is by alternating them. Next, press them to the sides of the tin. This is to seal the pie. It's almost ready. By now, our microwave is done preheating and we're going to pop it in. Bake it at 180 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. This also depends on the size of your pie. You'll know when it's ready, when the crust starts to turn golden. Once it's done, take it out and let it cool down completely. We left it in the fridge for about 2 to 3 hours until it completely cooled down. You need to do this especially with this pie because of the liquid that the grapes leave out. And it's done. Your grape pie is ready. This is best served with some vanilla ice cream.
Enjoy!